Welcome to the Color of Fragrance, and I am Vonnie EC. And today I want to shed light on a fragrance that I think that don't get enough light or the hype it deserves. I don't like hype, but this fragrance I feel like it deserves more hype. I feel like it deserves to be in the spotlight more now. Through the years, because I've had this fragrance for probably going on 6 years now. So through the years, slowly people have gravitated towards it, and more people have shed light to it. It's not a hyped up fragrance, but the people that's been reviewing it, or some of the reviews that I've seen, people definitely have been giving it its just due. I haven't seen all the reviews on it, but I know there are some people that reviewed this fragrance. I definitely just, according to the profile, the fragrance profile of this particular fragrance in comparison with another fragrance in a similar profile, at least they in the similar profile to me, to my nose. The other fragrance is definitely well known. A lot of people know about this fragrance, but to me, this fragrance is just as good, if not probably a little bit better. So we're going to touch on the other fragrance in which I'm going to compare this fragrance to that I'm about to show you. But the fragrance that I want to shed light on today is Daddy. I don't know if you can see that. Daddy by Terrance Hughes. And yeah, that's a hell of a name, right, for a fragrance, Daddy. But I can tell you, if you haven't smelled this fragrance, the juice in this bottle definitely holds its weight behind this name. And that's exactly what the role you got to play when you wear this. You got to be daddy. You got to be big dog when you wear this. This is a very sexy fragrance. Very masculine. It's dark. It's deep. It's rich. It's long lasting. Like, you could put this on today, especially even on skin, but especially if you get it on your clothes, it'll last. You will smell it the next day. That's for sure. That's for sure. So this is a very strong fragrance. For me, usually I just do like 3 sprays. It's one of those strong fragrances, long lasting fragrances that I still try to test out from time to time because it's not loud. Because you know how you got some fragrances, they project loud, but it's heavy. It's not really, to me, it's not loud, but it's heavy. It's heavy. So if you spray too much of this on, your scent bubble gonna be real thick. So I don't think you want to spray a lot of this on. But as far as the fragrance profile in which I make a comparison with this fragrance to another very popular fragrance that a lot of people are familiar with. To me, this shares a similar vibe and a fragrance profile with Ombre No Mind by Louis Vuitton. I know a lot of people are very familiar with that fragrance. Louis Vuitton, they killing it right now. But a lot of people know about Ombre No Mind. So if you know anything about Ombre No Mind, I don't have it. I don't have a bottle, but I definitely smelled a sample. I think I smelled a couple samples some time ago. Well, not think, but I have. That's how I'm able to make the comparison between this and Ombre No Mind. Ombre No Mind, from what I understand, is a rose oud fragrance. And they got the same fundamental characteristics that, relate to the similar fragrance profile that this has. Dark, deep, rich, heavy. And it lasts. Ombre No Mind is beast mode. This is that too. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I prefer Daddy over Ombre No Mind. If I had to choose with them, I don't know how nobody else might, feel about these two fragrances if you smell both and if you ever compare them. But to me, they on a similar wavelength. Like I say, not that they smell the same, but the fundamentals that make up the fragrance. They both got oud in them. I can't really pinpoint what Ombre No Mind got in it, but from what I get from this fragrance, I'm just gonna spray it. I mean, I know what's in this, but since we doing a video about this and this is my first time introducing this, we gonna play like we don't know. So, spray. So, that's the one thing I love about this fragrance, man. I love the freshness. Like, soon as you spray it, like what I'm getting on this paper is a freshness. Ooh. That's the thing. That, to me, this is what makes me like this way more than Ombre Nomad. So, it has a freshness up top. I definitely get vanilla. Vanilla, and I know it's oud up in here. So like I said, I'm just being honest. I'm trying to go back to like when I first smelled this, and which was some years ago, and just think about the notes that pop out in my head. Before I just try to read off Fragrantica and try to act like I just know how all the notes is mixing in with each other. So those are the notes. Like, even like I said, I know what the fresh notes is. But when I first smelled this, I could not tell. I just knew it was fresh up top. So let's go to Fragrantica real quick. So top notes, apple and bergamot. Now that I know that, I can see that. But to me, I can't necessarily say when I smell the freshness up top that I'm smelling apple and bergamot. I can't point that out. But now that I know it's apple and bergamot, I can see how those combined can create that fresh effect when you first spray it. So the middle notes, tonka bean, nutmeg. I can see that without a doubt. Yes. The tonka bean and nutmeg. And base notes, vanilla, oud, benzoin, skin. Got a skin note. I don't quite know what that is. Sandalwood, patchouli, and ambergris. Let me look up the skin note real quick and see what that says. See what it break down to. So it says skin, group, musk, amber, animalic smells. Whatever that might be. We gonna make it too complicated. But the sandalwood, I can't really say like when I first smelled this, I was able to detect it. But seeing it on the list, yeah, I can see that being a possibility. Patchouli, yes, I can see that. I can definitely smell the patchouli. And the ambergris, can't really tell off top. Can't really tell, but this is a well blended fragrance. It's sexy. As a matter of fact, it's sexy as hell. But I definitely would choose this over Ombre Nomad, to be honest with you. Because to me, like I say, they in a similar fragrance profile. And I know Ombre Nomad is dark, deep, rich, the same as this. But that freshness, that apple and that bergamot, it changes the game for the fragrance profile. So if you like Ombre Nomad, try this. Try to get your nose on this. The thing about Terrance Hughes, his line had turned up. People then got onto it. When I first got onto it, I got on the Terrance Hughes around COVID. And I felt like his fragrances was more easy to get, more accessible to get, because everybody wasn't on his fragrances like that at one point in time. But now people know. And he has a site, Terrance Hughes. The site is based out the UK. So if you order, you're going to have to be paying the extra charges for shipping and whatnot. But he also has a partnership with Max Aroma. So when he releases new fragrances, they go to Max Aroma here in the United States. But you got to, as soon as they drop, you got to be on them because they be sold out quick. So yeah, Terrance Hughes definitely got a cult following. And he got some bangers, man. He got some bangers. This ain't the only Terrance Hughes fragrance that I got. I probably got about 8 or 9 altogether. 450 mils like this size, and I have probably about 5-10 mils. But yeah, he definitely got some bangers, man. But to me, out the ones that I have, I think this one hold the most weight. I don't know, all the ones that I have, especially the ones that the 50 mil, they all bangers, and we gonna get to touching. We gonna touch on them eventually. Touch on the rest of them, but this was the first one that I just felt like talking about today. Daddy. Um, it's a great fragrance. It's sexy. It's sexy as hell. To me, I just feel like it's one of the best in its class. That's just how I feel. Um, anybody that's familiar with Terrance Hughes, I know he reviews fragrances too. And you know what's funny? When I first got on the Terrance Hughes, he was getting a lot of hate at first. And people was purposely trying to sleep on his fragrances because he used to do, well, he still does them, but he does fragrance reviews. But with him being a perfumer, or at least what he, puts on camera, as he reviews and smells these fragrances, he's able to tell what they made with, if it's made with synthetic chemicals or if it's made with natural oils and natural ingredients. He's able to tell all this. At least this, with my discernment, I feel like he's telling the truth. So he's able to detect and tell all this. And, he was getting a lot of flack because when he was reviewing a lot of revered fragrances, he wasn't putting a lot of fragrances on a pedestal like a lot of people in, FragCon will put on the pedestal. I think like one of the fragrances that he reviewed and he didn't put on a pedestal was Portrait of a Lady by Frederick Malle. A lot of people love and swear by that fragrance. It's being like one of the best rose fragrances. So yeah, from what I remember, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he didn't put the crown on it. And, people, you start knocking people's favorite fragrances, people gonna start questioning your integrity. So he was getting a lot of hate at one point in time, but his fragrances, man, he got so many bangers, man. His fragrances is undeniable, and every time they drop now, they sell out. They sell out. So if you haven't heard of this, I would like you to get you a sample, or try to get you a sample. Max Aroma. So you gotta be, you gotta be in tune with him, or go to the site and sign up for the email so you know what the dates is gonna be for the next drops, and that way you be on top of it. But another thing too, now he also has another name for this too. It's called Zeus. Now when I first got this fragrance, it was called Daddy. I think it's still called Daddy, but he has another fragrance called Zeus. It's the exact same thing. Same thing. So just if you're interested, just be on the lookout for it. You kind of gotta keep up with Terrance Hughes when he's dropping, because when his stuff drop, it sell out. So yeah, that's all I wanted to cover today. And I definitely feel like this fragrance deserves some more light. With some of the stuff that I done seen get hyped up, it's more quality fragrances that need to be hyped up. And this ain't, this is not talked about enough. Because to me personally, if we gonna talk about Ombre Nomad and scent profiles and things of that nature, to me this is in the similar scent profile of Ombre Nomad. Like I said, it's not a dupe, it's not a clone, it don't smell exactly alike, but they do share some of those fundamentals, those characteristics. Dark, deep, heavy, rich, and they last long. And this smells damn good. So that's all I got for y'all today. Vonnie, you see the color of fragrance. Have a good one.